doing it all. My goodness.
Kawhi Leonard's one of the best defensive players we've ever seen, and he's a dynamic weapon on offense too. And let me tell you, the silent assassin does not mess around when he's on the court. The first example of this was in the NBA bubble with the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Leonard got his entire bench out of their seats once he threw the hammer down on Maxi Kleber. Check it out.
With the fifth best record in the NBA and a ton of injuries during the regular season, Leonard gets the steal, 3-on-1.
Kleber got dunked on so hard that he flew all the way back into the stanchion like he got hit by a bus. I mean, at that point, he might as well have been. Leonard knew what he wanted to do with the ball, and he didn't let anyone stand in his way. When you start talking about some of the greatest plays from Leonard's career, you'll never see a list or video not mentioning this play on Kleber. And he didn't let Giannis Antetokounmpo get in his way either during that one special playoff series when he was with the Toronto Raptors. Kyle Lowry got the party going and then flipped it back to a driving Leonard, and he took care of the rest.
Middleton goes behind the back and lost it. Lowry with the steal. He has Giannis behind him, gets to Leonard.
Giannis tried to use his large frame to jump up and contest the shot, but instead he got put on the wrong end of a highlight reel as Toronto extended their lead even further. That year was really just a special year for Leonard. This Game 7 game winner came in that same year against the Philadelphia 76ers. Look at how insane this shot was.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
The emotion and the tension of this shot bouncing up and around the rim before going in, the play just had everything you could ever wish for in a big moment in the NBA. Without a doubt, this is going down as one of the most memorable moments in league history. Now, Leonard, he just has a way of making show-stopping plays. This time when he was on the San Antonio Spurs, he nearly killed himself throwing down one of the meanest poster dunks you're ever going to see. Take a look.
Spurs team leads by 5. Aldridge on the bench. Kawhi Leonard took a very tough fall after that dunk. And
the guy threw it down so hard on poor Mason Plumlee that Kawhi literally almost died when he landed hard on his back. Thankfully, he was okay after that, but man, you don't often see dunks that vicious. Now, this one wasn't as nasty, but it still counts as a ferocious slam. Kristaps Porzingis was supposed to be guarding Kawhi near the basket, but that didn't quite go according to plan. Instead, it went like this.
With Luka again, taking the pick and roll double team. The Clippers, the lineup that they have on the floor, they have the ability. My goodness.
Not only did Leonard throw down a dunk on Porzingis, but he was able to catch the pass and slam down a reverse dunk all over him. It all happened so fast, too. Porzingis just got caught sleeping for one moment, and that was all Leonard needed. After that one, I can just picture Dallas fans cringing every time they caught Porzingis on screen in a Mavericks jersey. But don't worry, Dallas, we've got more of this kind of pain in store for you here. Let's take it back to Game 5 of a playoff series between the Spurs and Dallas. Tony Parker led the fast break, and Leonard finished it off.
On the run on top pass, right through the backcourt. Nowitzki didn't see that coming. Quick numbers. Kawhi Leonard.
Talk about a well-oiled machine, guys. This Spurs roster certainly was. Manu Ginobili with the go-ahead pass up the court, Parker with the leading feed right back to Kawhi, and the big dunk to get the crowd roaring late in the first half of a pivotal playoff game. This play, once again, just had it all. And the poster dunks just keep on coming for Kawhi. This time, it was Derek Favors who found himself in the claw's sights. Take a look.
No rush here for LA. Leonard, 7 to shoot. Kawhi makes his move. Oh, wow!
Leonard just smoothly operated around Royce O'Neal like he wasn't even there before completely baptizing Favors as he tried to block the shot. I can't even begin to imagine the fear that Favors must have been feeling when he saw Leonard take off like that into the air. It probably felt like his soul was about to leave his body. But hey, no judgment here. Leonard running straight at you with murder in his eyes would get the better of pretty much anyone. But seriously, this whole dunking thing has been going on for years with Kawhi. Just take it back when he was still competing in high school basketball. Leonard was able to detonate and poster a kid back then, and then he just calmly walked back like everything was completely normal here, guys. You rarely see dunks ever at this level, and here's Kawhi not only dunking, but posterizing his opponents with absolutely no reaction to follow it up. That's just crazy, but not quite as crazy as this alley-oop dunk that he capped off in the playoffs against the Los Angeles Clippers. Check it out.
Blocked by Duncan. Parker ahead to Green. Green throws it up and Leonard throws it down!
Blake Griffin must have been so used to lobs that it looked like he was ready to jump up and catch it at the beginning of the play, but he ultimately chose not to, and Leonard didn't hesitate to catch it and throw it down right over him. Now, instead of throwing it over these next defenders, Leonard found a way to dunk it between them. He was completely cut off at the rim against the Philadelphia 76ers, but that didn't seem to stop him.
Leonard peeks at the clock, 5 seconds. Leonard makes his move. Oh! That's a man!
2 Philly players jumped straight up with their arms outstretched to block him or at least contest him, but Kawhi then casually just jumps in between the 2 defenders to slam it down regardless. What more could you have done to try to stop this here? That was just a man on a mission. And he was on a mission here too, but not just to dunk the ball, rather to win an entire game with the final second shot over the Indiana Pacers to crush their souls. Ironically enough, it was over the head of Paul George too. Take a look. George has just been having it rough throughout his career, to be honest. This guy is like a magnet for game-winning shots that go over his head. There are legit compilations nowadays of game winners scored when George was defending. It's a tough life out here for him, and Leonard took advantage of it. To be fair though, it wasn't anything against George. Kawhi has just been making the most out of his game-winning shots for years. This time, it was against the Portland Trailblazers. The clock was winding down, but he stayed patient before doing this.
Game here. Lillard gets switched on to him. Kawhi for the win! Oh, what a roll!
Damian Lillard did an excellent job at cutting him off on his way to the basket, but unfortunately, he didn't quite have the height advantage in this situation, so Leonard just sized him back up and hit a tough mid-range jumper to seal the game near the baseline. It was good cut-off defense, but even better creativity and shot-making on offense. And that offense always seems to come in clutch for him. The Cleveland Cavaliers were the next team to suffer from it. This time, it was in the form of a three-pointer. Tony Parker drew in almost every defender on this final possession for the Spurs, leaving Kawhi with no one near him. That clutch gene must have kicked in fast because he calmly rose up and sank Cleveland, forcing them to take a sad ride back home. And in this next clip, Boston had a similar feeling when Kawhi reminded them just who their daddy was. Leonard flew in late in the fourth quarter of this game to get the entire Staples Center crowd rocking. Marcus Smart, one of the league's best defenders, couldn't even stop the drive to the rim, and he ultimately left Daniel Tice to completely fend for himself, a decision that wound up putting him on the wrong end of an emphatic poster dunk. Gotta give credit to Tice though, he did a great job of just jogging back on defense and pretending nothing really even happened there. But sometimes you just can't pretend, and Brooklyn couldn't ignore this game-winning basket from Leonard as the clock wound down. There were just a few seconds left in the game, and Leonard made sure that was all there would be. Moving through the middle of 2 defenders before sinking the mid-range jumper right in Jarrett Allen's eyes, that's just cold. Kawhi came into that play knowing he wasn't walking to the other end of that court without scoring a bucket first. Alright, finally we wrap up this video with a vengeful putback slam against the Miami Heat. Go ahead and check this play out for yourselves.
Mills, not that time. Leonard on the follow.
The Heat here was a team filled with guys like LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. They were all on the court at the same time, and they completely forgot about Leonard on the floor. A Spurs corner 3 bounced off the rim, and everybody on Miami just stared at the rim, waiting for the ball to come back down. The only guy to really make a play was Leonard, who flew in from the 3-point line to soar up and throw down a monstrous slam in front of the Heat crowd.